Hello everyone, welcome back. We have a very exciting video today, which is the new Oden'S Norns collection. Oh my god, if that is not one of the prettiest things I've ever seen in my life. When I saw those promo pictures, I was like, please send it to us, please send it to us, please send it to us. Lo and behold, they did. So yeah, so we did 2 looks for this video today. If you guys want more looks, let us know, because we are happy to. We're dying to play on the other palettes that we haven't really gotten a chance to love on the most. So this will it'll be like a half review mainly and more of a first impression, but I think I have some pretty thoughts, some pretty good in-depth thoughts. So without further ado, let's roll into these tutorials. Alright, so we're going to address something really quickly. I am missing 2 nails, and I'm not going to do anything about it as of right now. I did not build the apex thick enough, and I cracked them. And that was my bad. That's cool. This hand looks great. This hand, not so much. So we're just gonna move along from that. But when I first saw the announcement for this launch, the first palette that I was like, I need this in my life, it's this one. Had they not sent it to us in PR, I probably would have ordered it. This is the most gorgeous palette ever. So I'm using the Erd mini eyeshadow palette. I don't speak, what language is this? I did use the biggest palette yesterday, the Norns. The Norns eyeshadow palette, and I cracked the mirror because I accidentally stepped on it, so that's my bad. But I used this one yesterday and I adored it as well. And yeah, let's get into the eye look for this one. So I have my eyelids primed already with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and first I'm going to go in with the shade Memory, which is the lightest kind of green color. This is pretty unique. I know I have something similar to it in another palette because I remember saying, this is really unique, I don't really have this shade anywhere. So I know I have something similar to it, but this one's just, I know it's a little bit different. I'll see if I can find the palette that I'm talking about, or what shade I'm talking about. But I'm just gonna kind of buff that in my upper crease. Oh, this is with a Rephr number 16 brush. I'm gonna buff that, like, kind of layer it on up here, and try not to bring it much lower. Just try and get it like up in my brow bone area. And this is, since it's one of those like more pastel-y shades, it is very powdery, so it adds like a decent amount of texture to the eyelid. I don't mind that, but if you're someone that really hates textured things, that's probably going to happen with this shadow, just because it is so like powdery, and that's kind of, in my experience, impossible to get rid of with these lighter toned kind of shadows. And then on a Rephr 01 brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Nostalgia, which is the shade right next to it, this nice army green here. Army greens are some of my favorite colors, so this palette is perfect for me. So I'm just going to add that kind of in the outer corner-ish and blend it into this other green here. This shade isn't super necessary for the look I did, but I did want a base color down since I'm using a shimmer in the outer corner. I just wanted to make sure it would all blend properly. And for anybody that watched our original video on the Rephr brushes, they are still some of my favorite. There's, like, I want to buy another set. These are unbeatable. So I just want to mention that on here because goddamn, I'm obsessed with these brushes. Now, for the fun part, I'm going to use one of my broken fingies, and I'm going to take the shade Golden Year and Time. I'm going to use the lightest side from the split pan. I know some people have mixed thoughts about the split pans, but I'm obsessed with them. Every single split pan shadow I've tried is out of this world stunning. Like, literally out of this world stunning. So I'm just going to assume it's the same for every split pan shadow. The lightest shade, it is very chunky. It's similar to their original highlighter palette, for anybody that has it. I'm going to place that up in here. I'm going to first tap it, and then I'll have to drag because it is very, very chunky in a creamy way. It's very hard to explain, but it's almost like how a loose pigment kind of would perform in a way. But it is so gorgeous. So I'm just going to add that on the inner portion of my lid and kind of bring that up into the green matte as best as I can. It takes a lot of like tapping and moving the product and stuff, so I'm gonna do that. I just really love that blown out kind of shimmer look. I didn't want this to be like a half cut crease or anything. I really just want it to be like ethereal and gorgeous. Right, I think that I have that built to the rate that I want it to be built. I'm gonna go in with a Morphe M433 brush in the shade Luxury. This is the shade that caught my eye. This is gorgeous. I have absolutely nothing like it in my collection. Man, this shade is incredible. It would look a lot better with a glitter glue, like build a lot easier with less fallout, but I'm not doing that since it's on my outer corner. But I'm just going to build it up like I would a matte in my outer corner. I'm just gonna kind of blend, but this is just, oh my god, this is divine. I have absolutely nothing like this in my collection. It reminds me of like if Kaja were to come out with a dark green shadow, this is what I think it would be similar to. Like I think it would look like this because it's so chunky and glittery and yummy. So I'm just gonna kind of build that and blend it back and forth between that lightest shade. Alright, now I'm done with that. I'm going to take a Morphe brush with the name rubbed off. It's just like a flat shader brush, and I'm going to take the shade Past, which is the deepest brown in the palette. They finally have depth in these palettes. I'm thrilled. I'm just going to like line my eye with that. So I'm just going to stamp it right here. This will just help my mascara look a little bit thicker. And that's all I'm going to do for this look, other than the lower lash line. So let me do my base and stuff off camera and I'll be back. So I finished off the rest of my makeup, and although the lip color is not something I would normally go for, I used their new lipstick in the shade Light Peach. It's the Velvet lipstick. I kind of like it. Like, it's definitely not my normal kind of color, but I think it looks really, really pretty. I'm trying to branch out with lip colors because I go for a standard concealer nude with a 90s kind of lip liner every day because it's just what I do. So I use this with my NYX lip liner in Espresso and my Nude Sticks lip gloss in 04, and that neutralized it a little bit. But the formula of this is gorgeous, and I don't know, kind of digging the color. You'll have to let me know your thoughts. And then I also used their highlighter from this collection. This one is in Web of Destiny. It's the more pink toned one. It's got this marbled kind of chunky glittery shade in there, very similar to their original highlight palette. I'm sure we'll go through that a little bit more in the intro and outro. But I just wanted to mention that. I think it's really pretty. Not something that I would always go for, but a glittery, like I don't wear highlight anymore. So like a glittery highlight is actually the kind that I gravitate towards when I do, because I don't like the thickness of a typical standard kind of metallic highlighter, powder highlighter. So this is kind of weird, but something I want to mention. Also, my hands may not match very well, and that's fine because my filter is fading. And for my lower lash line, I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to go in with that lightest shade Memory again with the same refer brush and put that on the inner corner as best as possible. Jeez. I wonder... I'm not gonna say that. I'm so annoying. And I think I'm just gonna use that deepest glittery green again, Luxury. I am gonna spray it with a bit of MAC Fix Plus in hopes that it won't go everywhere. But, you know, whatever happens, happens. I'm not all too concerned. I'm just gonna kind of gently rub it on in there. Let me jump off and do some mascara real quick, and then you guys can see the full completed look. All right, I added some freckles and a really bright white inner corner because I thought that would kind of tie together the look, and I agree. So this is the completed look with some mascara and my freckles and stuff, and I am loving it as I was previously. So let's get on to the next look. Cheese! Alright, so I'm going to be playing in the Verdandi palette. I don't know how to pronounce everything, so that's, you know, my bad. But I am first starting with the shade Everyday, which is just the only matte in here. No. There's 2 mattes in here, and then 2 satins as well. So I'm going to start out with Everyday, and I'm going to keep this how do I explain this? So when I put it in here, I'm not going to focus it on this outer portion right here because that's where I tend to build the most depth. So I can still get that wash and that blend without risking patchiness on my outer corner, as long as I just avoid the outer corner as much as possible. And that's kind of my method as far as that, so that I can get the most depth on the outer corner and still maintain a decent blend at the very least. And this shade is really cool, and it's an interesting pair with this palette because it's not super deep, but because of the tone, how it's cool toned and compared to the rest of the mainly warm tone shades, it tends to like, I don't know, just make it seem more depthy, I suppose, without it actually adding depth. It just adds that kind of shadow function. Anyway, I'm gonna go in with Vibrant next, which is the red orange kind of shade, and mainly I'm gonna focus this kind of in here, kind of above, kind of on the outer corner, you know. And I don't generally gravitate towards these sort of colors, but I think just this pop of like icy metallic silvery blue in here is just kind of doing me in. I'm getting like heart palpitations from it. And before I build on my outer corner even more, I am going to go with the peach shade here called Now. This one, I don't know if you can tell on camera, it looks like it has some oil on the side maybe. I don't feel it when I touch it. It doesn't like look like a different shade when I swatch it. I just think it's worth noting if that's something that might, I don't know, piss you off. But I'm going to put this at the front of my brow mainly. This is, I love peach shades, just popped right here. It's like my favorite way. And this is more of a satin. It definitely has some shimmer running through it, so that is something to keep in mind as well. Oden'S eye palettes are generally pretty shimmer heavy, so you should know what you're getting into. I personally love that. And then on the same brush that we use Vibrant, I'm going to go in with Precious, which is this metallic brown out here. First, I'm actually going to use my pinky to pack that on my outer corner, just so the mattes that are on there already don't like impact the depth, I guess, or the opacity. That's the word I'm looking for. And I'm going to go in with that shimmer on the brush as well and put it out here. I personally think that shimmers blend so much better, and you can build them a lot more without risking patchiness, which is just something that I personally love. And this is definitely like a metallic. It has lots of glitter in it, which I love. And I'll admit, this may not be everybody's favorite for like outer corner work, but I think it's so stunning. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of glitter primer from NYX to cut my crease. A little faux cut crease moment, just so that shimmer pops. And you can't tell on camera, but this shimmer on my lid is so metallic that I can see the matte above it in the shimmer on my eyelid. It's insane. It's so pretty. Yeah, and I'm just gonna take that on a little flat brush and carve out my crease a little bit. Nothing super fancy. And then I'm gonna go in with this split pan here. I'm gonna go in with the shade Say Yes, which is the more orange peachy shade. And I'm gonna start with that on my brush, but I will eventually go in with my finger. I just want my brush for some of that precision. I have fake nails on right now, and I never wear fake nails. I literally don't know how to function with them. Especially doing my makeup. It's like I'm such a finger person. This is screwing me up, but I need to stop biting my nails, and having fake nails on makes me feel pretty. I am going to go in again with the shade Vibrant, because it kind of got lost when we blended everything else. That one right there, on a little more detailed brush, and I'm going to put that above the shimmer as well. I'm gonna focus it mainly like near the middle of my eye, but God knows I'll drag it a little bit everywhere, like above the brow and all that jazz. I am going to jump in to a little bit of the Norns palette. We already cracked the mirror, Rachel stepped on it, but I'm only going in there for the shade Colorful Black, which is a really, really gorgeous satin deepening shade. I don't know why they call it rainbow black exactly. I guess there's some, like, it's not quite a black, it's not like a blue, and it's not like a gray either. It's really, really stunning. And again, I just feel like shimmers blend so much better. Okay, then I'm gonna go back into that split pan and go in with Unknown, which is the icy kind of blue shade. I'm really excited to put this on my eyes. I want this on my inner corner, and I might use the blue highlight that came in the collection to use on my cheekbones, because I think that might be a fun pop with these warm tones, is to have like that icy blue pop. It does translate a little more silver, but I still like that. I like that. Let me try with my finger. Yeah, it's like a silver blue with gold glitter in it. It's very interesting. Ooh, I like that. I am going to, though, screw it. I'm going to go into the Norns Mesmerizer highlight. Yeah, it's okay. I think it's just called that, unless the other ones are different. Can't read what it says on here. The blue one that came in the collection. And I'm gonna try taking that on the brush and putting that on my inner corner as well. I just think a blue would be such a fun pop with this, like a more pronounced blue rather than a silver. Yeah, that's really cool. These highlighters are really interesting. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about these, but I think I'm gonna really like them actually. Okay, and on my lower lash line, I'm sure I'll just do some of that colorful black shade and then some of that deeper metallic that I used from this palette. And then, yeah, I will be back to show you the completed look in just a moment. Pictures?
Yeah.
All right, let me film my outro. Okay, and this is everything all done. Sorry, my daughter ran in here and she doesn't want to leave. I did also put on the, let's see, the cream lipstick in Little Jasmine. This is beautiful. Like, this formula is insane. I would totally recommend this formula. It's not always, like, these colors aren't my favorite that they sent us, just because I prefer, like, a lighter nude. But, wow, this is, like, up there with Propa Beauty as far as like lipstick comfort goes. But yeah, I also put on that blue highlighter that I have on my inner corner. It's very sheer, very sparkly, kind of Fenty Diamond Bomb-esque almost. Charlotte, stop playing with the lipsticks. But yeah, that's what I have on here, and this is the final look. So I guess we'll get into the outro now. Okay, and while we're talking now, we'll start inserting some swatches. And I don't really know as we need to do some comparison swatches, but I would like to compare the, is it this one? The Verdandi palette, because this looks like a more depth-heavy version of the other palette they have in this kind of color story. So I do kind of want to comparison swatch that to see. It's almost like they like watched our original Oden'S Eye video and they were like, and then just took all the notes that we said. Yeah, and then just put it into another collection. So maybe other people felt that way, or we are just that iconic, I don't know. But they just did so well with the depth in this palette. It's so rich, so depthy, so the shine on the shimmers is insane. I really want to play in the Squeed, the Squeed palette. All shimmers. In the promo pictures, I thought this looked very Harry Potter-esque. Now that I have it in person, it's not so much, but it's still so beautiful. Just make a really great companion palette. It's just so beautiful. Yeah, I want to see if I could do a full look with this, no problem. You guys know I use shimmers everywhere, but this would be a great comparison or companion palette as well. I'm just, the shade Futurism, fucking Utopia, and even Hope. Who knew a shimmery yellow could get me? Who knew? Only Oden'S Eye could do that. Yeah, these, this is just one of the most well done collections I've seen in a long time. The palette that I used, the Erd palette, the Erd, I'm not sure. The green palette is the one that I was the most excited about because it's just stunning. They have this like blackened brown in here, and it just, if they didn't have this blackened brown, I wouldn't be as much into the palette, but it like ties it together as well. It's also important to note this collection has no pressed glitters in it, so even though some of these shadows look like they're pressed glitters, they're not. So if you're somebody who doesn't love a pressed glitter, then you are, you know, you're happy with this collection. It's beautiful. We broke the mirror on this one already, but at first, this big palette was a little confusing to me in Color Story. I was like, I like them, but I'm confused by them. But oh my god, it's genius. Everything about, like, even just the textures for the shades that they chose, like, this deeper red Passion is a satin. so it looks metallic on the lid, but it blends beautifully if you want it as an outer corner color to add warmth, because these browns are pretty cool tone. I love that they have this satin, almost black, the colorful black shade that they call it. I love the deep teal. They added so much richness into these palettes, and I swear to God, this shimmer formula is different. It's better. It's so good. And the last shimmer palette, like the last shimmer formula that I tried from them was great. There's no problems with it. This is better. This is out of this world, metallic, divine, sparkly, chunky.
And we've harped on about the eyeshadows, but those lipsticks,
even though these colors are not our tones, this is the best lipstick formula I've ever put on my lips.
the best matte lipstick formula. So Pro Beauty
I'm
has
not
the
wearing
best
a matte,
glossy
though.
lipstick.
So they have the cream lipstick and then the mattes. I think
I used a matte. Yeah, I used the velvet lipstick in light peach.
This is a good formula. I have the cream lipstick on. This is very comparable in texture to like Pro Beauty or even like the L'Oreal Colorie Shines, but something about it is better. It's thinner, and it doesn't cling to any of your patches. You know how some balmy lipsticks will do that? Well, they'll
like separate in your
look
cracks.
really gross. This stuff, I am blown away by this. It feels like I'm wearing Aquaphor. That's what it fucking feels like.
This, you'll have to try the matte lipstick formula. It's beautiful. It's just exactly like how it looks when someone with lip filler puts on like one of those velvet lipsticks from that brand. Do you remember, like, do you know who I'm talking about? There's like these velvet lipsticks.
No.
Oh, okay, well, there's these lipsticks that they just look like velvet when you roll up the tube. And somebody with lip filler, super smooth lips, puts them on and they look so good, but I know on me they would not be a thing. Right there, that's the thing.
We should insert some close-up swatches of our eye, or videos of our eyes so you guys can see like the sparkle that's going on here. Okay. The highlighters,
Those are fun.
I was confused. So I'm wearing the blue one.
You wouldn't guess.
You wouldn't guess. It's very sheer, almost Fenty Diamond Bomb-esque. Like, it doesn't pick up on a brush. Maybe I just didn't use the same type of brush, because on my finger it has really great like opacity to it. And they're very like putty-like, almost ColourPop Super Shocky, but it has this like this weird marbled texture that at first in the pictures I was like, that looks ugly. It just looked ugly to me. But I see why they did it now. I see it, because you can tell, like when you put it on your cheeks, you can tell why. I don't know how to explain that better than this.
Here, pull out the other highlighter. Where's the highlighter palette?
Oh.
So this is the Alba 2 highlighter palette from their last collection. This white kind of chunky shade here, it's like almost like a chunkier version of Fenty Diamond Bomb, kind of.
Kind of like the Natasha Denona in the Blush and Glow palettes, that the diamond powder, or whatever, it's Super Glow diamond powder, I don't know.
This is basically marbled through all of those.
Yeah.
So the white in there is basically this. So if you like this highlighter from this highlighter palette, you'll love it. I don't like powder highlighters nowadays, you guys know, but I do love a glittery highlight, because glittery highlights, they're just more purposeful. Yeah, it's intentional. Like, you're putting it on to have glitter on your cheeks. A normal metallic powder highlighter, you just see a metallic kind of stripe, and it doesn't feel as intentional to me, because it's meant to give you glow, and what I want is a normal glow, not a metallic glow. So the glitter in these makes them actually something that I would personally use, because I don't really use highlighter much, but when I do, it's almost always with glitter.
Yeah. So if you don't like glittery highlights, stay far away from these.
They would go beautifully on your eyes though too.
I would assume the best way to apply these, if you want the most opacity, would be something like this Sigma brush. I can't read it because it's metallic and it's shiny.
The FO3.
Oh, the FO3 from Sigma.
FO3.
It's a work joke.
Fraud!
It's a work joke. Yeah, but the FO3 from Sigma, this is very dense, and it does kind of a stripey thing, which I hate for normal powder highlights, but when it comes to like a Fenty Diamond Bomb or like a ColourPop one, you need something a little thicker, a little more dense, something like what's that Kaleidos highlight brush too? Kaleidos has one similar in shape to this, that's also really good if you're trying to pick up a kind of a tougher highlight to pick up. Other than that though, like, this is stunning. I just used it with just like a flimsy old Morphe brush, and because of that, it only picked up like just this soft, beautiful shimmer, and it didn't give me like a blue stripe. I don't have a cast. Like, I'm just blown away by this entire collection. And we were just talking about,
this makes me, I'm so excited about these that I want to wipe this off and do it again with a different eyeshadow palette from them, because I'm blown away by this formula. I cannot stress this enough.
You have
this is absolutely beautiful.
This is so gorgeous. I mean, when they released this and I saw the promo pictures, I was like, holy shit, I want that. And I'm kind of juggling thoughts right now, because right now we're doing, you know, pan those eyeshadows or like pan that palette, and we've got a bunch of project pan stuff, and we've got a whole fucking desk of other eyeshadow palettes. And so I'm like, God, we have a lot of eyeshadow. Like, do we really need more? I'm not going to say no to this collection, but do we really need more? You know, like, if I had to buy it, would I have bought it? And after using it now, if I had known what I know now, I would go buy it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard, obviously, when you get things in PR, you're going to be a little bit skewed as far as what's the word I'm looking for?
Biases.
Yeah. So,
but we have also gotten PR from Sigma, and there were products in there that we didn't like, and we were pretty vocal about that. Like, this isn't for me.
Same with like it.
Folly Fire,
Unicorn Cosmetics. We get things in PR every once in a while, and it's rare that those things actually become staples or really loved on. And even the other Oden'S eye stuff that they sent us I don't know, a couple months ago, I'll link that video in the eye if you want to see it. That stuff is not a staple. It's beautiful, they're beautiful products, but they are not things that I'm going to dive into often. These are very up my alley, because they have that depth, they have that sparkle, and you have the option for those like deeper satin shades to deepen things up and not get patchy on your outer corner. It's just so well thought out. Like, if there were a collection made for me, it's this one. It's this one. Glittery highlights, beautiful textured lipsticks, gorgeous eyeshadows. Oh my god.
I also need to mention, I can't be 100% certain, but I feel like they may have updated their eyeshadow formula.
It just feels better.
It feels good. It feels great. Like,
hopefully you'll be able to tell in the swatches how stunning these are, but oh my god.
They are gorgeous, and I love this collection so much. I am very excited to dip into all of these and really like love on all of these, but we must just be going through a really good makeup phase, because we just got the Angelica Nyquist palette from Kaleidos, and that one we were like, man, I could do a pan that palette with this. And I'm feeling the same about all of these. Like, they're so good that, like, how could you get tired of them? And the thing with Oden'S Eye that I love so much is that a lot of, other than this green one, this is the most cohesive I've seen. It's pretty easy to pull a look out of this. But some of the other ones, it's like, what am I going to do with that? Other than the one look, what else can I do?
Yeah, like, hold on, let me pull up. So this one is one that, oh, not the battery. Anyway, as an example, the Alpha 2 Mini Sky palette that they sent us last time, this is a beautiful palette. But the thing is, with these kind of color stories, you only, if you're thinking just basic matte and shimmers, like mattes go in the outer corner, shimmers go on the lid, you only have 2 mattes in here, and they're not super heavy in depth, they're not super different in tone. One's a little bit warmer, one's a little bit deeper and a little bit cooler, but that's it. So you have like a shimmery copper, 2 shimmery purples, and then this icy blue highlight thing. And I did a look with this. I don't know if I have a picture. If I do, I'll insert it. But I did a look with this with the mattes, and then I had this copper on the lid with a little bit of this pink topped over it, and then like this around like my brow area and stuff like that. Because of the textures that they choose, I think that the average everyday consumer might have issues if they're applying normal makeup rules to using these palettes. But I think that's what makes these so special, is that they bring you out of your comfort zone and you do things that you wouldn't expect to do otherwise with a regular eyeshadow palette, like one from Morphe or, I don't know, Dose of Colors, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you have so much variety in here. I just think it's genius. I think it's genius.
Now, this is the best thing I've tried in a long time. I mean, Angie's right up next there, but like, this is great. This is a phenomenal formula. I have never loved a green eyeshadow look so much. I love green. I use it daily. But this is a look.
I haven't felt this way about a collection of eyeshadows since the Be Perfect Carnival palettes. That is how strongly I feel about this.
It's pretty good.
So I think we've gotten our point across here, but we definitely recommend this off of our first impressions. But the only palette we haven't used is the Squeed,
which is funny because I really want to use this, but
you will see something coming soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping you guys want some more like tutorials with this. If not, we'll just do like shop my stash, get ready with me's, whatever. We'll use it on our own time, obviously. It's just nice when we can film it because it forces us to use a specific thing rather than just dipping into whatever or using all of our Project Pan items. But thank you so much, Oden'S, for sending this over. Like, thank you so much, man. I'm obsessed with this. I'd say the eyeshadows are the star, but funny enough, the lipsticks almost come next for me. Like, even though these aren't my staple colors, the formula is so good. If these are your kind of staple colors, I would recommend them highly. I really love the matte one. Vic really loves the glossy one. We haven't switched off we haven't tried them. I haven't tried the glossy. She has not tried the matte.
We haven't tried all of them.
But just based upon wearing that matte lipstick, like putting it on, I was like, whoa, that looks good. I put a gloss on top, obviously, but like alone it was very pretty as well. I'm just a glossy person overall. And then the highlighters I still think are stunning, but they're going to be bottom tier for me in terms of everything in this collection. Personally, do you feel the same?
No, only because I like highlighter and I like a glittery highlighter a lot, so I think these are second. Like if I'm rating it, it's eyeshadows, highlighters, then lipsticks, only because the lipsticks are not my typical tones, but the formula is out of this world.
So overall, eyeshadow palettes,
Twintorials
1 out of 10. They're so good. This is just a great collection, and if you want some new lipsticks, I would highly recommend those as well. We will stop barking our thoughts at you. We're just like, I love this! We'll stop doing that, so just let us know your thoughts and what you want to see with this collection in the future, and we hope to see you in the next one. Bye!